so many people strive or live to be perfectionists.
Ooh.
Whether it's in a relationship, whether it's at their job, they just want to be perfectionists. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit later about some of my perfectionism.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna explain to y'all why I sort of switched up and changed around and stopped being a perfectionist.
Oh shit.
Hey y'all, welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Jay. This is Tanya. We got Cynthia up in the right hand corner. We got Francis down below. Hey ladies. Hey friend. Hey Nay.
Hey,
Do you believe that you're a perfectionist?
I
Or do
believe
you have traits of perfectionism?
I have traits. I have traits of perfectionism, and what I mean by that, I think there is a place for everything, and if it's out of order, something's not right, then I got to get it back in order.
Hmm.
I got some real bad traits. I got OCD real bad. I clean up all the time. I wash all the time. There's nothing I don't do.
Hey
Somebody.
friend, what about you? Would you consider yourself a perfectionist or do you carry any traits of perfectionism?
I guess it really just depends on what it is. Um, Not really, because I feel like being a perfectionist, sometimes you set yourself up for failure to be let down.
So you don't have anything that you have to do exactly perfect or you want a certain way?
Um, Probably just my writing. That's it. I don't have a lot of stuff that I have to be perfect at. Um, or it has to like I put now just putting things in order, which is a difference because then I know where it's at. But other than that, nah, that's too much of a letdown.
Okay, Tanya, you know I'm going to you. What about you?
What you say? You know you're going to. Okay. Look, I think that first of all, being or someone labeling you as a perfectionist or just that term alone, a lot of times people think maybe a good attribute to have, a good characteristic because that means that you're dedicated or you're, you know, I don't know that you pay attention to details and stuff like that. But honestly, I know I have traits, and I think maybe the first thing is realizing or saying to yourself that, yeah. Because this show, when we first had this topic, or the topic came about and we talked about it, I was like, yeah, we could talk about how people and, different folks have those signs and traits or whatever. But now that I've really just kind of thought about it and reflect upon myself, I said, you know what? I think I may have a lot of those
You
traits.
had to think about that. Seriously.
Because I think, in my
Jesus.
opinion, people who are don't really know that they are. You know what I'm saying? Because having goals or wanting to obtain certain things or wanting something set just a particular way, you don't really realize that it's overboard because that's the difference.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. When me and Tanya went to medical school, nursing school, she wanted to hold this position of valedictorian. Me, I was rather the average student. I mean, she had it all mapped out, a schedule. When we go to sleep, when we eat, when we gotta wake up in the morning. Me, I'm waking up at the last minute and running into class like 5 minutes before class start. You know what I'm saying? She, on the other hand, she wants us to sit up in the class 30 minutes before the class start.
No, I don't. What I did want to do is make sure that we left the house with at least 30 to 45 minutes because it's like this. We don't live 5 minutes up the street from the school. So you have to plan for everything. And I don't think that it's, there's a thin line, should I say. Because look, you got to plan for all the unexpected. You never know,
So
traffic might happen. You never know. I mean, I'm just saying.
that I
Sometimes it's
don't.
just too much.
I was gonna say, well, that's not that part of it. Is not being a perfectionist. That part is just being on time, having what I'm saying, timing
Right.
yourself to be because you know what you got to do. That's just timing. That's
No,
not being
Francis,
a
I wasn't
perfectionist.
finished. I wasn't finished. I
Well,
wasn't
What?
I mean, there
finished.
was a pause and shit, and you let her
No,
answer, so
that's
I
good.
just
No,
let
she
you
jumped. She jumped
go.
in. She
Oh, my
jumped in
bad.
because she didn't
My
let me
bad.
get to it. I mean,
but even
we're
explaining
at
just
school
that little part of it, just the timing and
now.
everything, that's still
Yeah, the
not a
timing,
perfectionist.
that's just a little part of it. She's a perfectionist, believe me, everything. She graduated top of the class. Top
Okay.
of the class. You know what I mean? Me, I didn't graduate top of my class, but when I took my board exam, I was second. But
Mm-hmm.
still, but hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was a slacker in school because I caught a lot of flack during school. You know what I'm saying? She got praises when she was a perfectionist, but whenever I was a perfectionist, I got a lot of flack and criticism from the professors.
Okay.
Because they knew I was in the medical field before, so they wanted to clown me in front of the class,
It's
saying that
stressful.
what not clown in front of the class.
It's true.
Okay, it was like a competition that was going on between me and the professor.
But again, I think it's a
I,
thin
I,
line.
I don't
But
know.
Tanya, if she got a 95, she would beat herself up for that 95 on the test. You know what I'm saying?
Now, okay,
Me, I'm like,
now
so what?
that,
It's a
now,
not.
now that, yeah, now that I can see. Now
I'm like
part,
that.
And it's with
that's a trait.
every single thing she did, every test at school. She had to have 100 on it. She had to be perfect. To me, that's unhealthy when you beat yourself
Yeah.
up like that.
Well,
Because
it's
you're wanting to be a perfectionist.
it's unhealthy in a way because it can lead into depression because you didn't reach what you thought you reached. I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I tell my kids, as long as you have tried your hardest and you're passing, I'm cool with that. You putting too much pressure on yourself, and then when things crumble, you don't know how to handle it. Then you sit up there stressed out, and now you know what I'm saying, that causes health problems. That's why I don't
It,
understand why people do that, or everything has to be perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. There's
no,
Well,
there's
certain things
not.
that
And
we
and
can.
that's why I was saying in the beginning, it's not a such thing as being perfect, but a lot of times you don't realize that you are. And that's why I said it's a real thin line because you're thinking to yourself, say for instance, like we were doing a shirt. And it's
ooh,
like this at
Jesus.
any cost, whether it meant skipping something to eat, staying up all night to the next day. You know what I'm saying? But at any cost, it's like it has to be done and it has to be, I'm talking about the lines have to be a certain measurement. It has to look centered. It has to, you know,
You're talking about yourself, right?
I am, which is
And
bad.
she takes
But
all day. I'm like,
a
we
lot
can't
of,
run a business doing t-shirt and provide for our customers if it's taking you a whole day just to do one
Yep,
t-shirt. We can't
that's
do
true.
it.
in my mind, I gotta
So,
have
But
it
she
just
but she has to have
right.
everything perfect, and it drives me crazy to where
well,
it causes us to have
yeah.
arguments.
So
But
that means that she would fit the description because a perfectionist is a person who refuses to accept any standard short of perfection. Now, with that being said, Tanya, I got to give it to Judy. She is right in that aspect because what will happen is you will lose customers because you're taking too long to do something. You see what I'm
I
saying?
know
You
it.
have to you have to understand that, you know what I'm saying? Either they like what you have and they want it just the way it is. I mean, because it ain't bothering nobody but you.
No, but see, that's the thing. You got to think about it. Think about your own personal experiences. Nay, Judy's friend, think about your own personal experiences when you go to the store,
Hmm.
or you say, for instance, not even going to the store. Say you go to a restaurant and they bring you out a plate of food. Well, that chef went back there and they made that plate of food and they said, well, I put in my all in it. It looked halfway decent. I'm okay with it. And they serve it to you, but you have a standard of, I don't want what this slop is on this piece of on my plate. Or when you went to the store, you expect your clothes not to have holes in it. You expect the quality
Yeah,
of it
but
to be a certain
that's not.
standard. But no, what I'm saying is, I feel that my customers who are buying something from me, first they're paying
Hmm.
money. So if you're
True.
going to give me money and the cost that I'm charging you, plus I want my brand to have a certain quality
Well, okay,
association. I want them to
I
say,
got
yes, they serve me good quality stuff. So
you.
I
Right.
feel like I have to sacrifice, whether it's missing a meal, staying up all damn night, whatever it is. Now I give it to you time wise. Okay, I
and I
Okay,
understand they're staying
I
up
get
all
it. I
night, and I
get it.
understand her doing all of that. But the point is that it looks great when she does it. It looks great. It could be one dot that's off. Excuse me, one
And don't
dot
know,
or
and don't
one line
nobody
that's
probably
off.
and probably ain't nobody gonna notice it but her.
You won't notice it, but she notices it. You know.
Cynthia, how do you
But
feel about it? I mean, do you think that that's overboard?
yes,
That
Cynthia, you
no,
were here. Cynthia, no, you were here when we were doing our project. Didn't we stay up all night?
we did stay up
Look,
all
Nicole
night, but
Davis said that's her too.
Yeah, Nicole
we
Davis
did
said that's
stay
her.
up all night. But I'm also with Tanya in that area. It's certain parts of my life. It's just got to be right. If it's not right, I'll stay up all night until I get it done. Um, I ain't gonna throw no shade, but when I'm mad, happy, sad, depressed, I clean. I will clean your house from top to bottom. I will dust the baseboards. I will do what it. I mean, it's just got to be done, and then can't nobody do it better than me. And it might be somebody out there better than me, but can't nobody do it the way I want it done.
I was
So
just about to say that is definitely a trait that I feel when you say can't nobody else do it, so I may as well do it myself.
yeah,
Can't nobody else do it right,
Well,
so I got to do it myself.
well,
yeah.
Well,
like,
Nay, I have to say that when I was in a relationship, I ran off that other person because I was so OCD, and I was like that. They would come through the door and take off their shoes, and I'm like, no, get your shoes up, take them to the closet. It's just like it was bothering me. So it came off as if I was controlling, and that's how some people take people who are. I'm not gonna say I'm a perfectionist. I just wanted my house clean.
So, Francis, would you think that her making her partner pick up the shoes and put them up as soon as
Right
they walk
away.
the door immediately, would you think that that's a sign
of being a perfectionist.
of just wanting it her way? It has to be this way, my way.
I was like that with the whole house.
Well, I mean,
I was like that with the cars, cleaning the cars. I
no,
was like that with my yard work,
yeah,
everything.
because you got. I mean, I guess it's to the point to where I wouldn't call that a perfectionist. A perfectionist somewhat. It's like every little everything has to be in order. Every little thing cannot be misplaced. It has to. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just spick and span or whatever the case may be. And if it's none other than that, then a fit is thrown or it pisses them off or whatever the case may be. Which I feel, and I mean this is for people all over the world. I truly feel that is very unhealthy to have
Which, if
to
it
have
is, it
because
can
it
be.
causes, yeah, it can be because it causes a person to become miserable because things are not their way. I mean, if you think about it, say you got say for instance, okay, with you being in the medical field, say for instance, you didn't give something your all, you know what I'm saying, a test or um, say for instance you was with a patient and you didn't give it your all and you know that you did your best, but you wanted to be just perfect, you know what I'm saying, you wanted them to make it, whatever the case may be, you tried everything in your power. If you let that bother you, you become miserable.
But Francis, I think that that's in the human spirit.
Who?
Because I said I think that's just in the human spirit to want, or if something, when you've given your all with something and then maybe you can't accept the negative outcome, maybe was
Oh
what I'm trying to
no,
say.
no,
No,
I
no,
don't
what
know
I'm
what.
saying,
No,
bear
I'm
with me,
saying,
bear with me. I'm just saying, like, if you've done everything, and you mentioned the medical field, okay, so you're with the patient and you've done all the care that you can for this patient, and say for instance that they just didn't make it.
That's the maladaptive part of it, to where you can't
It
don't know.
sticks to
cope or
you.
deal
don't
with
know
the
what's.
outcome of it.
I don't know what spirit you talking about, honey. But my spirit says, if you gave it your all, that's it. I'm not
So you
fixing.
wouldn't feel a
Well,
type of
I'm
way
not.
like maybe there's something else I could have done. I could have did
I'm
this,
gonna
or
tell
maybe
you,
if I had
yeah.
done
I
that
mean
one
that,
more
but that's
something,
not.
then maybe
That's
that would have helped them.
okay. That's not being a perfectionist though.
So
That's
what's
nothing
that
other
called?
than
What is that?
that's just. I mean, say for instance, if you tell Judy, hey Judy, I prefer you not go out that door tonight because you know what I'm saying.
So
Something
you
I just
it's
feel some. I
okay. I
just
can
feel
understand
something.
that.
Huh? You know, I feel
No,
that
I yeah.
something's gonna happen, and then something happened. Then you say, "Damn, if I would have just stood in front of that door."
So
You know
you
what I'm
saying
saying?
that's just self guilt?
That's
That's
not being
just guilt.
huh?
You saying that's just self guilt? That's just guilt.
Yeah, that is guilt. That's not a perfectionist. That's guilt.
Well, can I share some
Well,
advice?
I look at it both ways. I feel like it is a perfectionist side and it is the guilty side. Because when you get so used to always accomplishing your goals or doing whatever, then doing it perfect, and then because I've been in the medical field for 30 years and I've done those codes and I've done them every day, all night long, 10, 15 codes. And if I lose that one person, I blame myself. And it's hard for me to get over it, because I was always used to always bringing them back and saving them. But then when I lost that one, it was like, oh hell, it was hard. I instantly just had to take a break from work,
I mean,
and it wasn't
don't get
guilt.
me
It was
wrong.
like I had to just brainstorm and say, what the hell could I do better?
And sometimes, but here's the thing: we have to understand there is no such thing as perfect. There isn't. Nobody in this world is perfect. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
therefore, it's like that's why I say it's unhealthy to be a perfectionist.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
Definitely that.
yeah, when you have that one moment, like you just explained, when you have that one moment where something goes wrong, and you start beating yourself up for it, that beating yourself up for it leads into other things, depression, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna bother you and eat at you, and which can cause health problems. Well, the
I
And
thing
have
is,
they,
sometimes, like Judy was saying, like when you lost that one patient, this is what you have to come to grips with. This is reality. Reality is their man upstairs probably called them home. It was their time. No matter what you now, just think of it like this: even if you would have did anything differently, and they still would have passed. You see what I'm
you
saying?
don't have
It was
control over
you
that. I
don't
but this,
you
understand
do
but
that.
not
yeah,
yeah
but let
you
me say
don't
one
have
thing real
control
quick.
over that.
Let me say one thing real quick, because we're
Yeah,
thinking about perfectionism and perfectionist people. In their mind, realistically, they can do anything. I mean,
yeah,
the reality is twisted. They believe that I
yeah,
can accomplish anything that I put my
yeah,
mind to do.
yeah.
Would
Nay,
you
you
give
were
us
about to
any?
say
Yeah, I was
something.
That's
about to
true.
ask you that.
I want to share a little like on my story today. I gotta be goofy.
I'm done.
I'm so perfectionist at what I do for the last year and a half. Me and my partner, my fiance, the man that gets on my nerve every day of the week, got our home.
All right,
Well, being
congratulations.
a
Finally.
perfectionist
Right.
paid off, honey.
Yes.
Okay.
I think
So
that's just being really diligent and determined.
I
Yeah.
had to say
Yeah.
that because some of the stuff we were saying was making me emotional. So I wanted to say something goofy. But I'm OCD. I'm a perfectionist. I want everything done when I want it done. I'm not perfect. You are right, Francis, to the top dollar. You are right. I'm not perfect by far. But when I see something that needs to be done, or if I want something done and somebody's not moving fast enough to get it done, I do it
You
for
ain't
them.
lied.
So
You
I,
would
ain't
you
lied.
say that you would, because I think another trait of someone who has, who would be considered a perfectionist is being in control. They have to be in control of everything,
I
and
think
that's
it
every
just
why
comes. I think
detail
it
to
just
every
comes off
part of
like
everything.
that. Let me get
Oh
Nicole
Lord,
Davis. Nicole Davis says my wife complained and feels the same way, but it's hard for me. I'm trying. So I guess
at
her
least you recognize that
yeah,
part though, and you know,
she's talking about for us cleaning the house and stuff like that. Well,
yeah,
I feel like Tanya's parents, they were so highly critical of you and they held you to such a high standard to where you felt like you had to do that. And I believe that was a part of you becoming a perfectionist.
that
Like
was
in school, they didn't want you to make a C. They didn't accept you making a B. And even though she was in all honor classes, they still expected for her to come home with that A.
so you think upbringing has a lot to do with
Of
it,
course
no
it
how it
does.
molds
because
you.
Your environment does. Because
what she
my dad was like, just pass with a C and we good.
what she is
Yeah. You
speaking
see
of,
what I'm saying? Yeah.
what she's speaking of, I went through that as well with my mother. Everybody thinks because I graduated top 10 in my class that I was also excellent smart. Hell no, I was dumb as hell. I was a sight reader. I could barely spell standing up straight with a blindfold on. But because I read and read and read so much that I ended up graduating top 10 of my class. And I didn't, people would, they thought I loved school. I didn't love school. I hated school. But because of my mother putting so much pressure on me with school, I couldn't bring home below a B. I could not bring home below a B. And when I say a B, I ain't talking about no 80. I'm talking about 89. If it was anything below an 85, I got my ass whooped until that 85 turned into that 89.
What you mean, 95? Yeah, that's about the
I'm,
same.
Well, I feel
I wanted to read something real quick. Now, I typed in, what are the downfalls of OCD? And it says, if left untreated, OCD can worsen to the point that the sufferer develops physical problems, becomes unable to function, or experiences suicidal thoughts. About 1% of OCD sufferers die by suicide.
I don't want to die, but
No,
I'm a,
I'm not saying you in that 1%. But
I'm a OCD.
but the thing of it
like I
is,
said, there's certain kind. There's the maladaptive type and the adaptive type. If you can adapt to failure or whatever, then you're good. You know, if you
yeah,
can't adapt
yeah,
to not succeeding and failing, then that's when the depression comes in, and that's when the suicidal thoughts comes.
yeah.
And
Because
that's,
So
because
go ahead,
I was
Chris.
gonna say, because once you have that thought in your head that it has to be a certain way, that's when your problems come in at. You know what I'm saying? Because you're sticking it in this one box, and that's the only way that it could be.
When you
And when in reality, there's more ways than that one.
And when you say adapt, you are definitely right about that because my oldest, my son, and my youngest daughter, they clutter bugs. I was so clean with the OCD that they're clutter bugs. They think that if they stack something up neatly that they done. But my oldest daughter, soon as you set a cup down in her house, and Judy and Tanya, y'all are a witness. Soon as you set a cup down and you stay gone 2 minutes too long, whatever you sipping, drinking out, it's gone. Sandra's got OCD so bad, I'm scared of it. I mean, my two of my
So,
kids didn't get it, and one of them, she's better at it than I am.
what I wanted to know, or we can discuss. I mean, when you say OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, there evidently is several types, several different
Yeah.
levels. Because
Yeah.
there's some that people have to. It's so severe they have to take medication for it.
Yeah.
But then I guess it can apply to everything where what is the one where you're repeating, like where you find yourself repeating or you ticking, you have to tap 5 times or go check the door, stuff like that. I
Yeah.
forget what that one's called, but you have that, and then where you just have to be perfect at everything. There's the ones where the thoughts come to you and you just start, I don't know, it's some, like I said, some that where it's really severe. But then I mean, my other thing was, how do you deal with somebody, how do you live with someone who's that way?
I'm hard to live with. I'll be honest with you.
hey,
I'm hard to deal with. I am hard to deal with. Let me say hello to everybody that's watching on here. I see a bunch of hellos. How y'all doing? We see
yeah,
y'all.
hey, Aunt Janice, sorry.
Tonight,
Janice.
y'all, we're talking about being a perfectionist, having different levels of OCD where you just have to do everything to the maximum scale. So, y'all join in the talk tonight.
Well, like I said, there's positive sides and there's negative sides.
It
It was
is.
a negative. It was a negative for me because it ruined my relationship. The female that I was with before Tanya, she thought that I was controlling because I wanted things done a certain way. And it wasn't that I did want things done a certain way. Ain't no point in me lying. But anyway, so then when I ended up meeting Tanya, I remember ended up lashing out at her because when we first met, she was feeding her kids, and at that time they were really, really young. And she took too long to put up the stuff that she was preparing the food with. Too long to me was like 5 minutes too long. She just fed them, sat them down, and she had sat down, and I was like, "Are you gonna put up the food? Why are you leaving the food out like that? Put the food up." She looking at me like, "Oh my God," But it was just, I just had to have things done a certain way. Nicole Davis says, I can see where that is true. I often used to beat myself up because I had to always get things right. People would want to be around me. I almost lost my wife because of it. It's true.
Relationships definitely can be affected by your habits or your wanting to control everything. And I think a lot of times maybe I know for me, myself personally, because I have to have things done a certain way or I want them done my way. This one here, she's not that way. Like,
Why am I not that way though? Tell them why I'm not that way. I broke those chains. When I met you, I changed.
well, you
But
know,
when I first met you, I was OCD. I had to have the yard done a certain way. I had to have the cars cleaned all the time. I didn't want you to put things certain places. But I changed because I wanted my relationship. I knew my last relationship was destroyed because of my OCD. So I said, okay, when I go into this next relationship, I'm going to change.
How do
well,
So,
you how do
but
you
go
how do
ahead,
you
Tom.
how do you identify the change though? Because I'm 45 and I feel like I'm too
It
old,
might be too late for you. You might be set in your ways.
you know.
It
Before
was
I put
hard for me. It was very stressful, sitting around the house, and then I see certain things all around the house, or the kids messing up the house. Because Tanya had 3 kids. I should have listened to Tyler Perry, but he said, "Run, she got 3 kids." But anyway, it was a lot of stressful days.
why
I
God?
mean, a lot of pulling my hair out. I'm like, oh my God, I could kill these kids. Oh my God, I can't take this. Oh my God, clothes is right here. Get these clothes up. I mean, I was going crazy,
For me,
but
before I sit down to eat, if I do breakfast, if I do lunch, if I do dinner, and I've cooked, I'm gonna wash out whatever I cooked out of before I eat whatever suppers I'm about to eat. That's how bad I got it.
You're not by yourself. I do the
Tanya
same
is the
thing.
same way. And I be telling her, sit down so we can eat together.
I like this. Clean as you go. My parents, they taught me that. Clean as you go. As you're cooking, you clean. You use a pot, wash it out, put it up. You're still cooking that way. By the time dinner is done or the meal is prepared, you've got no dishes in the sink other than the ones you're going to eat off of.
I don't want to take all day to eat. She got to take all day to do
You know
everything.
what, Judy? I'm with you. Look at here. Now, the cleaning as you go while I'm cooking, okay.
Yes.
But, baby, once I'm done cooking, we're going to sit down and eat. I'll wash the dishes afterwards. If I
But I got to
want to
watch a
sit
movie.
down,
Yes.
I can, no, I'm going to sit down with my mate and I'm going to eat. When I'm done eating, whatever it is they doing, they could do. I'm in the kitchen, clean up the kitchen, making sure, drinking my cup of coffee, cleaning, might maybe listen to some music, going and get it over with before I go to bed. But I am not finna be cleaning no damn dishes, and I done fixed everybody's plate,
Girl.
and I'm the last one to sit down to eat because me and Teresa, we eat together. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. She's gonna make sure of that. So therefore, I'm gonna go along with it. Okay, here I
We
come.
eat together. Don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that I might have to warm the plate back up or something just to make
I'm
sure
not.
it's piping
I'm not
hot.
doing
Okay.
So
that.
bad.
And I'm
No.
It's
sitting
bad.
there. I'm sitting there because I'm feeling bad. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm sitting there waiting. I'm
And the
like,
whole
God.
time, your damn stomach burning and fighting with
Girl,
your
I'm so
back.
mad. I'm burning up. I'm looking upside her head while she in the kitchen. Wash another dish. I dare you. Wash
I'm
one more
telling you.
damn dish.
I can't help it. Cynthia, I know you can't help it either. You are the exact same way. I swear to God, we
Yes.
be in each other's way for trying to hurry up and get everything together.
Nicole Davis says, I have to clean before I eat too.
See,
I can't
we're
do
not by
it.
Yes.
ourselves.
I'm,
But
not-
Yes.
I'm
y'all,
not gonna say I can't
Yes,
do it.
definitely
I
clean as you
can.
go.
I can. But my girl Keisha, yes, clean as you go. But baby, when dinner is done, we finna sit
it's
down and
time to
eat.
eat.
I'm going, and I don't, and that's fine with me. And I don't mind after we eat. Then I'll clean. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
everybody else, they in there doing whatever it is they doing. My son be on the game. My daughter be, in there watching some movie. And by this time, it's time for Aiden to go to bed. And by the time I make it in the room, she in the bed, and she
It
be
all
asleep.
maps out, especially if you can get it all lined up together. Yo, what do you feel about having a competitive spirit? Now, being in competition or wanting to be the best, I think, is a natural thing with most people. You want to win. You want to be first. You want to come in first place. But I think a trait of being a perfectionist is when you can't accept being second, and
I
you
don't
want
lose.
you want to
I'm a
win at like
sore
almost
loser.
everything.
I'm a sore loser. I'm a
Would
sore
you?
loser. I don't like no, baby. I will knock over
I
the
never really had a
whole.
lot of losses in my life. I ain't gonna lie. I'm
No, I
very
will no,
competitive. I'm
no.
very
I will
competitive.
no. I will knock over the whole monopoly board. Goddamn it! No, no, no. I cry out when I lose and I know I done gave it my all and I done did everything I could do and I still fail. I get mad.
You still mad. I know it.
I'm gonna tell you, I like to win. I really do. I love to win. Even when I played women's professional football, I was one of the standouts, right? And I loved it, but I hate the attention around it. I hated that attention. I'm really a shy person, and I hate having that spotlight on me.
But you wanted to be the
But
best.
I wanted to be the best.
You drove everything
I did
to be the best.
You daggone
Now, if
right.
you
I worked
didn't,
hard.
if
to
you
be best.
wasn't, if somebody else was named the best before you, did you hate that?
Oh, girl.
Did it burn you up?
Oh, baby. I'm finna go home. I'm finna stay up all night long doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, some crab crawls, baby. I'm finna wear this street out. I'm finna work out like Rocky. I ain't lying. I am not the one.
Okay, so what about like people who exercise to the maximum? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can care about your health, right? That's cool. You care about what you eat, your physical appearance, and all of that. But what about going to the gym like 5 times in a day, working out? I mean,
I did that when I was younger.
there's a level.
They do say too much of a good thing can turn into a bad thing.
There you go.
I exercise all the time. I exercise.
Nay, stop lying.
Cynthia,
Nay, stop lying. We on straight talk. You gonna stop that right now.
Tell it, Nate. What you do, girl?
We're not talking about walking around the house. We're not talking about.
No, this is all the exercise she do right here, right there. Boom. She got abs in her jaws, bitch.
Listen to me.
Oops, excuse me.
Listen, like what I tell you, I can teach you how to do these crunches. You know,
Jaws of steel.
maybe they got the PHAT fat and then they got the FAT. Okay, I'm in
Don't
the
they do?
FAT category. Like,
Yep.
I'm in the FAT.
In the club with you, baby.
Baby,
Yes, ma'am.
look,
Fat girl at heart.
You know
Yes,
me?
Lord.
Yes. Come on,
Yes.
man. You must talk
Listen,
crazy. Now.
That's what she. Hey, that's what she's a perfectionist at eating. Every time she come there, we gotta stop a million
Oh,
places.
man. We were
Right.
just doing that the
Don't
other day.
play. Do not play with
Oh,
me.
man.
Okay. FAT.
You know you ain't supposed to have it, Nate.
Hey,
You know that you ain't supposed to have it.
Baby.
Amber, look at your girl. Look at your girl. She holding it. Look.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, my aunt Jonna, she said she still like things a certain way. I had to read that comment.
and there's nothing wrong with liking things a certain way. It's when you overdo it, when it gets past that point to the point to where it's like nothing else exists unless that thing is just perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
So when do you know? So now that we've talked about a lot of traits, right? You know, being in control, wanting everything perfect. There's no other way but your particular way. Like, even damaging yourself, your own physical self. You know, losing sleep, whatever. We've talked about a lot of that.
Some of that, but I think being a perfectionist sometimes is positive. Look at the positive side. I'm gonna look at the positive side.
Yeah, okay, so there are
I'm
some
gonna look at the
positives.
positive side. The one positive side is that if, and I ain't trying to brag on you too much because I know your head getting big. But I'm just gonna say this: if Tanya go to school right now, if she go to medical school right now, I ain't got to worry about her failing. She gonna pass. She gonna be at the top of her class.
But let me tell
Because
you,
she's not gonna settle for less, and that's what that I owe that to your parents.
let me tell you something. That might be a true thing. Okay, what I'm saying?
It is a true
Like I said in
statement.
the beginning, people look at that as like, oh, that's a good thing. That's a very good quality to have. It's stressful as hell. It makes me sick sometimes because, like I said, I want that. I want it so much. I don't see no other way. It has to be this way. I have to get this grade. If you're with me, you're going to get this grade with me. We're going to study together to the max or whatever it is that we're doing. It has to. That stuff is stressful.
I ain't
What
doing
would
it.
you make when I was in
gonna
nursing
say,
school?
bitch,
Shit.
we would have been study buddies, bitch. You would have been sitting at the table by yourself. Ain't no
Nope.
way in hell you finna.
So I'd have been nagging the crap out of you, girl. I ain't lying to you.
I'm a walk off. I'm running away. Now I want you to catch me. I want you to catch me. I want you to run behind me and catch me. Bitch, I'm gone. No, man. Listen. But you know what though?
I ain't lying,
You know
Francis.
what?
We became ducks of our class. We was the leaders of
Well,
our
you know
class.
what?
Had people bringing us lunch.
Honestly, and I wish on the cool, I wish I would have had somebody half of what Tanya was. And I'm not gonna say all because I don't think I can handle all Tanya. So half of you. I wish I would have had somebody because when I went to Blinn College, it was just me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a study buddy. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? It was except for I ended up meeting this girl Christy. and we barely got to stay together because we both worked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the people in my class, honey, these was all youngsters. I'm in the class with some youngsters. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna hang with them. They used to ask me to come hang with them. No, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do
Right.
it. But it it was ooh we yeah, Tanya. I don't think I could have handled all of you. No,
Oh,
ma'am.
see,
No,
now that's okay,
no,
but that is another trait to where
no.
the person who wants to be perfect is gonna make whoever's with them be perfect too.
I mean
You
that,
feel like
but like you
I felt like
said,
I said.
like you said, it can make you sick. You have to remember. Okay, look at this. Think about
Mm.
some of the people that you have seen through the years, even if it was just on the TV show or you know what I'm saying, one of them shows of somebody being perfect. If you see what it did to their life, you know what I'm saying. It could make their life. It could, in some ways, it made their life a living hell. They didn't
And
what,
I can
and a lot of
understand that.
and a lot of them, like Judy said, you know what I'm saying about the relationship. A lot of them were single. They were by themselves.
Yep, end
You
up
know what
being
I'm
by
saying?
themselves. Yep.
They end up being loners. They end up, you know what I'm saying, being sick. Done lost their damn mind.
They
You
lost
know
their
what I'm
damn
saying?
hair. What you talking about? Nay, I see you got your hand raised. What you trying to say?
Cause, cause y'all giving me a bad name because look now, hell, I can't
Well,
help it. I feel
I
like I
know.
should rub off on people. I feel like people should want to be like me.
Thank you.
Oh
If you
no.
look, Cynthia, no, look, Cynthia, wait. I tell Judy all the time, well, if you just do it like this, we
Yes,
wouldn't have no problems. If
yes.
you just put it back right here in this spot every single time, you'll be able to find it. It just makes logical sense to do it. If you put your paper just like this, then you can. I mean, I'm that bad. I'm really
Well,
that
I mean, but
bad.
From the
Y'all making
time I
me
wake
sound
up in the morning
horrible.
to the time I go to bed, this
okay,
motherfucker controlling my life. I'm in chains, y'all. I'm in shackles. We're gonna
but
eat
look,
now.
you
What? I
have
don't
to.
feel like eating right now.
You
No, we're
know
about to
what?
eat. Come on.
I said like this.
I'm in a nursing home.
You
Ain't that damn bad.
you
Damn.
got to remember. You got to remember what you find that works for you is for you.
That's
You see
true.
what I'm saying? So you telling her, okay, you know, I mean, as an example, turn if you hold your paper this way or if you do this way, you got to remember that works for you. It doesn't necessarily work for her. And then
So let,
what goes for you don't just because y'all in this together, what
so,
works for you doesn't work for her. And
It
so
then
now,
should,
okay,
damn it.
do you remember one time me and Judy had a conversation and I told Judy said it makes her mad because when she gives somebody advice, they don't take it. And she said that pisses her off. But what did I tell her? She has to remember what did not work for her might work for
Might work for
somebody else.
somebody else. You ain't
But I
lying.
would say 99% of the time they ass is right back ringing my phone. Tell me,
so
how
wait,
did you say to do this?
so
What you
now,
say to do?
so
What's the
now,
name of that company? What's the name of that company,
And
Judy?
it could be, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it'll work, you know what I'm saying? Just sometimes what works for one works for that one. It might
so
not
now
work
So
for
I got
that's
somebody
a
Francis,
else.
what.
woman
Francis, you just don't take no advice, period. You are a perfectionist and you're in denial.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I don't do what?
I said, you just don't take advice. You don't like to take
No,
advice
no,
from
no, no, no,
nobody.
no, no, no.
You
Let's get
are a
no, no,
perfectionist. You
no,
like
no,
things your way.
no. Let's get something straight. I don't mind taking advice. I don't have a
She
problem
just
with that.
she just ain't got to use it.
No, that thank you. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I can take it into consideration. I can do that. I might
You
not
don't even
follow
listen when
your
I talk. You don't
I
even
might
listen
not
to when I talk.
you know what, Judy? And sometimes you don't listen to when I talk. So the point of the matter
I ain't got no
is
choice but to
this.
listen. Your mouth is.
Girl, stop lying. Stop lying. Stop
Y'all
lying.
know the truth.
Cause she'll holler at me, shut the fuck up. Why don't you listen some damn time? Yes, she does. Now, here we
Y'all don't
go.
believe that.
Now, here's the thing. I am not a perfectionist because there's one thing that I have come to terms with, and I came to terms with this a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to worry. I used to worry a lot. I'm not doing it no more.
oh, I still
I
do. Oh
refuse
my
to put
God.
myself in a position to where I'm ill mentally or physically.
So you're
I
saying,
have
so a
come to
way
terms.
to cope with it, a way to
Hold on.
cope with it, you're saying is to.
I have come to terms. This is just me.
Mhm.
I have come to terms that things are not perfect. I did that a long time ago. Things don't always go your way. If things don't always go your way, guess what? The majority of the time, I promise you will not be let down because you know what to expect. You damned if you do, damned if you don't. It is what it is. If I know that what I'm doing does not work in my favor, or it's chances that it can't work in my favor, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't.
So that's the first
I'll
thing,
find
I guess,
another
is
route.
realizing that
You can't fix
you
everything.
cannot fix everything. That would be a
Can't.
solution to someone being a perfectionist, is to
Yeah.
realize that you cannot be perfect.
I'm gonna
That
tell you
doesn't
when
exist
that
except for Jesus.
reality when I realized that reality that it's impossible to fix everything, that like to
Hmm.
kill me.
I'm
That was
telling
a
you, yeah.
hard blow
Hmm.
because I was always used to being the fixer or the problem solver for
It
everybody.
will, and it will tear you to pieces. You
Cynthia,
know what I'm
what do
saying?
you, how do you feel like you can get over, because you're
OCD.
look, you standing up. My name is Cynthia Nelson, and I am okay. So you fully are aware.
So tell
So
us.
how would you fix it?
Maybe we should tell her how to fix it.
I was just going to say I haven't fixed it because with everything you all just said, I guess I have to go in here and apologize to Gray because even going through this journey with this house, I wanted it signed on this day. I wanted it emailed on this day. I wanted it turned in on this date. And I feel like
Right.
if it didn't get done, I had to do it myself. And when Keisha wrote in, she said, "Ask Nate. She does wedding plannings and baby showers and stuff like that." Keisha is a perfectionist, so when I mean, the bird got to be turned left, the water got to be facing south, the milk
Yes.
got to be facing
The
north.
colors got to be okay. Yeah.
It's got to
All
be
that.
color coordinated. But with that being said, again, I go back to and Gray tell me I have to stop doing that a lot. I go back to my childhood because it was just certain things that had to be done certain ways in my mama's house. And a lot of those things, a lot of those ways I adopted from my mother. And trying to break those traits are hard. So when you ask me how, hell, I'm still trying to figure it out. I
Okay.
just
So
Can I say
maybe
something real quick? I know it's off topic, but I gotta say it. I just got to say this. I gotta take this stab while I can.
what?
That's why a lot of men. That's why a lot of men don't like to work with women because because women are such perfectionists.
She acts like she's not part of this group, y'all.
I'm not like that. I think like a man and act
What
like a lady.
Cynthia,
What
Francis, and Cynthia.
What happened?
Is this one not a perfectionist? Is she in denial? I'm thinking she's still.
She's
She
in
said she
denial.
gave it up. She gave it up. She said she changed, which she
I'm
has.
reformed.
Okay, you
Well,
have
she probably
changed,
She has
but you
changed in a
still
lot
changed.
of
are.
ways.
Like I said, I
She
think
probably
like
don't
I think like
minimize.
I act
She
like
probably don't
You're
minimize it,
right.
but it's probably there. She
Yeah,
probably
she
Yeah,
just
don't
I'm right
minimize it.
there. Yeah, minimize.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
But long as y'all heard, that's the reason why men don't work with women. They
And
rather
well,
do
the reason
business
why
with. They
Any
rather do
because
business
men,
with
any
men
men out
because you
here
never
that's watching
no.
this, please chime in.
Please chime in and
Please.
tell them the truth because you never get anything done. I try to work
well,
with Tanya and it takes all day long. We might as well shut the doors, baby. Shut the doors because we ain't finna make no money. She take all day
sometimes
to do one thing because it has to
some,
be perfect.
sometimes it's the other way around. You got some men that are perfectionists. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. It goes both
All right, so
ways.
y'all, so when you're in relationships or trying to get into one, or just even for your own self, how do you try to change it? And I think what we've all discussed, realization that you are, that
You
you
got
do, you
shit.
have the traits. You have to
Well,
say, yeah, I am kind of like that, or own it a little bit, at least a little bit.
well, you got to come to grips with reality and understand that there is no such thing.
Then you have
You have to.
so
You have once you hit reality hits and you understand that there is no such thing as perfect. Nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody. Once you get that in your head, not even you, I'm gonna tell you what my professor said. He told his daughter, "You were not special," and she had she had the most profound look on her face. But he didn't. She didn't understand what he meant, and what he meant was, he said, "You aren't you aren't special to anybody because the whole world don't know who you are." When you come to the realization, when you come to reality that nobody's perfect and you are only special to those who know you, trust and believe you will handle it a lot better. But until you come to grips with that, you're gonna always, always gonna be a hassle.
You got to be able
I
to learn
think
to accept failure.
You
definitely
have
learn
to,
to accept
yeah.
failure, and I
Yeah.
think also set small goals, like obtainable goals. Don't set your, say for instance, like when we were talking about the shirts or whatever, have set hours. Like if I don't get this business done, this shirt done within this set time frame, I'm finna close it. I'm finna be done with it. Come
Hmm.
back to it when during the times. If I'm only working from 8 to 5, I'm working from 8 to 5. Let that just be that time frame. That way, it doesn't control you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just set boundaries or
So what
set
do you do?
obtainable goals.
Okay. So what do you do about the clean freaks? I
So
say,
Get out
test
my way.
yourself.
Get
What
out
I've
my way.
heard.
Get
No, this is
out
what it
my
is.
way.
You have to honestly see those pairs of shoes that are sitting over there in that damn corner
and leave them there.
and leave them there. As hard as it is to walk away from them shoes, and you want to go over there, snatch them up, and go put them up,
Or
and
go
even
snatch Gray up and tell him,
Ugh.
come get your damn shoes.
leave the
Leave
shoes
them
there.
there.
Just let that one thing go, and eventually the one thing will turn into two things that you can find. That doesn't have to be perfect, then into three. Now, that doesn't mean be nasty and filthy. I'm just saying test yourself with one thing that doesn't have
Okay.
to, the cup doesn't have to sit in the cabinet just like this, turned like this with the label. It doesn't.
That's too much. That's
Okay. Okay.
excessive.
Now,
Wait,
now
Amber
wait.
says
Tanya,
that's too much.
Tanya, fuck that. Get them goddamn shoes up. Put them where the fuck they go. Put them where they go. No, no, shoes don't. Now
Look,
shoes don't
but it
belong
may
in the
not
middle.
have
Now,
it may not
in the
have to be
middle
the
of the
shoes,
floor. You know what I'm saying? As
but
long as they're not in the middle of the floor. No, because I used to in my house before this one. I used to say, when you come through the door, you have to take your shoes off at the door.
yeah.
They had to be at the door. Do not walk. I didn't want you walking on my carpet with no shoes on. I don't
Well, I'm
like.
gonna tell you, the kids broke my OCD because I went for to
They
kill
will.
myself, clean up after them. Baby, we just want to live in a dumpster for a while till y'all get 18.
But I had gotten so bad it was like this. The grandbabies, they would come over and you know how they get messy. Young babies like 1, 2, 3 or whatever. They're young and so they're gonna get messy when they eat. They gotta have stuff all over themselves. I would get to the point where it's like one little something right here, I'm wiping. One little something right, I'm wiping. Whole baby skin gonna be wiped off, leaving it to me. So I'm just saying.
Wait, y'all, let me read it. Amber says, but that goes to what we said earlier. No one is perfect, and as far as being in a relationship, both people need to have a common ground and learn to accept each other. Okay.
That's a lot of words right there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say yes, because accepting each other, you have to realize sometimes people can do things so much that it will run the other person off. You have to learn how to back down. That's just like being in a relationship and you're arguing. You have to know when to fight and when to back down. You know what I'm saying? You do have to know, okay, wait a minute, hold on, I'm going overboard. It didn't even have to be like this. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's hard. It's hard, but I think people that end up being look, she says, Lord knows that's my Russell. My wife tests me and I bust a sweat trying not to touch him. Boy, it is so hard. So very hard.
She also said, I try. I would be up to 4 a.m. to try to ignore the stuff.
But I think patience. I think patience, the person, if you're in a relationship, someone having patience, with you to maybe understand, hey, I get it, or, just
Look,
I don't know.
listen to my Aunt Janice. Tell me I'm more like Tanya because I will change it till I get it right. It's got to look right and presentable. I'm going to tell you, all my aunts that keep coming up in here taking Tanya's side, y'all going to get a big block.
Are you Auntie Diana?
No, that ain't your auntie. That is not your auntie. It's my auntie. You going to get blocked. Don't come up in here taking her side, making her head big.
It's straight time. Come in here and say what you want. Look.
oh,
But them folks said I throw a tantrum.
I do have to go back and tell Tanya. I do get what you were saying earlier about the just being right, because I think about that like my poetry. That's it. You know what I'm saying? A certain word has to be a certain way, or
You
what I.
remember you remember when you told us, and I'm not trying to go into that whole story,
No,
but you remember with
yeah,
that one particular thing, that one poem, you know what I'm saying? You are particular. You want it a type of way. You don't want nothing mess with it. It has to be this way. Now,
Yeah.
being particular
That's fine,
is
but
fine,
not with everything.
but it's
You
hard.
you she's a perfectionist with everything, and it just works my nerves. It makes me want to be a slacker. I ain't lying. I wake up just to fuck up.
Francis, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I ain't
I mean,
lying. Be getting on my nerves. Woo.
I guess you got to also distinguish, the fact that liking something a certain way is, what I'm saying, is okay. I like this to sit right here, or I like the way this looks over here, opposed to going completely overboard.
Like the labels in the cabinet on the vegetables or the canned
Yeah.
goods got to all face like this, and only
Yeah.
the corn is right here and the peas are right here, and they have to be
Oh, wait, wait, wait. Hold
two
on.
centimeters with your measuring
Wait a
with
minute.
your
Hold
ruler
on.
got to be
Hold on.
2 inches from the okay.
Are we talking about canned goods?
Canned goods, girl, 2 inches from the the edge of the shelf got to be two
No,
inches,
I
and
don't
they
have it
all of them
that.
got to be facing.
I don't have it that bad, but I do believe that, for instance, on one shelf I have my canned goods on one shelf, and yes, the corn is here, the beans is here, or you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to be going through trying to picking up cans, trying to
Looking and
figure out what
find
the
it.
hell I'm looking at.
Well, Cynthia,
Okay,
do you
and
agree? I
then
mean, is that overboard, or do you think that that's right? Because that should be right.
My cabinet is like that now. That's why I ain't got nothing to say.
What? Everything lined up.
Yeah, gotta be lined up
yeah,
perfectly.
Girl,
because I mean,
no.
that's even with my box food. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's in a box, it goes on the next shelf, and it's right there. It has to be right there together. So therefore, I'm not looking in my cabinet, and to me, that's just like, what I'm saying, just having it together.
In
You know what I'm
order.
saying?
But I
And
guess
that
that's the
way,
thin line. It has there
now
is
I'm not
a line.
doing. Now I'm not
I'm
doing no
not.
damn. Now I'm
I'm
not doing no damn measuring about no 2 centimeters from the edge, or they can't be touching each other, and I got to measure how
well.
far apart they are. I'm not doing all that. No,
What
they just
about
need.
what about people who have their plate of food and they can't have anything touching it? No
I knew
sauces.
she was finna bring that up.
No,
I knew it.
like a piece of
Well, no,
corn can't be over here on this mashed potato pile
That
because
was the old
no.
me. I'm
I
no
actually,
longer that way anymore.
I actually have an uncle who is like that. His food, he doesn't want. If he say he got three things on his
Nicole says
plate,
guilty.
those three things cannot touch. You know
right.
what I'm saying? They can. Now I also have that same uncle. You cannot stand too close to him when he's fixing to eat. He loses his appetite. He don't want nobody leaning over him. He don't want you next to him.
Right.
He will lose his appetite, and he's bad about that. You get too close to him, and he just look at you and be like, never mind, I don't even want it no more.
Now, see,
You
you
know?
know what, y'all? I think that if to give any advice to anyone who's dealing with it, I'm guilty, and several of us on here are. I think it's a slow process. Allow yourselves to realize, like Francis said, that perfect. There is nothing in this world perfect other than Almighty. So you allow yourself to fail because it's okay. You can't be perfect at every single thing all the time.
Uh,
People that you're involved with in relationships,
mhm.
definitely quit trying to put the way you believe on someone else because that's just not fair because you're actually controlling their life.
You
What
need to
did Laquita just
tell
say?
them the story. You need to tell them. I'm gonna bring it back up. You need to tell them when you first met my mama.
Which,
And you was trying to get the. She told you to do something in the cooler, and you was taking too long.
oh my goodness, y'all! Her mama fronted me out, and it was a whole big barbecue. Like there was a lot of people in the yard. We had a cooler and it had the ice, and you know how you get the ice and it's kind of melted a little bit, so it refroze really hard. And so she was like, Tanya, put the ice in the cooler. Put it over the
Break it
whatever.
up.
Break it up for me. I was like, oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. I need to go find a hammer. And hold on, just hold on a second.
It's taking too long. My mama said, give me that. Wow. Chopped it with her hands. Karate chopped it. And she said, "Baby, you too proper."
Look, Judy, talking about why are you so damn proper? Why
What's
she so
wrong?
proper?
She said, "What's wrong with her, Judy? What's wrong
said,
with her? What you do to this girl?
This is
She's
my
so damn proper."
this is my first time meeting her mama. Okay, and she didn't. I said, oh,
And my whole thing is this. I got a question. Was this ice people were putting in cups?
look here.
I don't.
I'm asking a question.
All I know, my
Wait,
mom was frustrated. She
hold
karate
on.
chopped
I
that
can't
joker.
remember either.
This is what I just want to know. Was
Nah, it was
ice?
cans, girl.
It was just to go on the cans.
I think so, was it?
Oh, okay. Cause
Yeah, of
I was
course.
gonna say,
But
I was
even
gonna
if it
say.
wasn't, they better not say nothing. She liable to karate chop their ass.
Okay, for real.
No, the reason I was finna say that is because Tanya was talking about going to get a damn hammer. Who in the hell wants a dirty ass hammer breaking up their damn ice?
I meant I was gonna break it on the outside of the bag,
I don't care.
break it
No,
up,
ma'am. I
break the
don't.
bag up first and then
No,
pour it in there.
no,
See,
no, ma'am. No,
But the
ma'am.
point is that she was taking too long.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And she almost got karate chopped. She better
But
be
I just
nice
got
who
lost.
got
I just
karate
got lost
chopped.
on the part that she was gonna use
Nicole
a damn
said,
hammer.
"Look, wait a minute. What did Lakeisha say?
it's
It,
all go.
it's all going to touch, going down and coming out. No, that's something she
Oh,
talking
she
about.
talking about the plate of food when it's all together.
Oh, girl, no, I can't stand my food together, Keisha.
That's what said. This all going. Oh, okay, you read
I'm
that.
telling you, it's gonna hit. It's going to the same damn place.
And so she said, it's all going in my mouth. I don't care what it
Let me go back
touches.
up here to Laquita Spearman's comment that Francis wanted. She says, I got overwhelmed trying to make my house look perfect. She says, I do what I can and go back to whatever later on. I have kids, so when you come visit, you might see dishes or clean clothes on the couch. We all deserve a lazy day sometimes. I know
Allow
that's
yourself
right.
to be that
But
way.
you know what?
That's the best. That's
My
one of the
kids
good
got into the
advice.
habit of thinking that the clothes belong on the it was that heel. I mean, that heel became about 11 feet tall up in the house. It
Dog,
was
the
almost up
kids,
to the
they
ceiling.
just, oh
Well,
man.
Mama, you put the clothes on the couch. Why can't we put the clothes on the no?
Y'all,
So
okay,
I want
so
somebody to tell how to get over it. Some of these.
I think a lot of it, like we about it, comes. You have to come to terms that you are overboard. You'll be by yourself.
I'm laughing at my aunt Janice.
What'd she say?
She said, "You right, niece. She didn't mind karate chopping it. She had to."
Okay, her mama. I'm telling you, honey, no patience for nothing.
Okay.
Oh, question. I think or I read somewhere that people who are perfectionists, like what's I about to say? Lost my whole train of thought. Go, you want to talk about Christmas? I lost my train of thought. I can't remember. Good Lord, you were talking about how to solve it and
How to fix it? Yeah. How can you fix it?
oh man,
Like I
what
said,
was
it just took me losing somebody. I feel like you should always learn from your previous relationship. So me being labeled as controlling and coming off that way, or even being looked at in that type of way, I felt like you know what I'm saying. So what if the dishes stay in the sink, longer than I want them to stay in there? I anticipate.
right?
Let it. It's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna die. Even though the whole time I'm cringing in the inside, like, oh my God, I ain't even took my eyes off that sink. Like, come on, hurry up, wash the dishes. But, it just take one day at a time,
And
like
it
anything
will
else.
get easier. So that's some good advice. Just take it one day at a time. Know that everything's not perfect.
That's true. And then I'm echoing.
Oh,
Um, it says I don't even want to talk.
what happened? Is it really bad, friend?
It's yes, I can still hear. Okay, I was
Well,
echoing.
you're not echoing to us. Keep going.
Oh shit. Okay, so it says how to I put in how to deal with a perfectionist, and it basically just says recognizing that there are both positives and negatives to having a stickler on your team. Explain the behavior you're noticing to try to increase their self awareness. Help perfectionists see that their behavior may limit their career.
So basically,
So
go ahead and be involved with somebody who's going to purposefully just tear something up and make you look.
put it like this: the other person has to make you because, like you said, Tanya, most perfectionists don't see that they're doing these things. You see what I'm
No.
saying? So to make them aware of their behavior, it helps them to, you know what I'm saying, to work on not doing it as much. You know what I'm saying? To realize that nothing's perfect. There's gonna be mess ups. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to accept it.
Yeah, okay.
You're right. Nicole says she losing friends and family over it woke her.
That's what it took for
Sometimes
me,
loss
Nicole.
definitely has to.
Exactly.
Sometimes that has to happen for you to finally get it. You fix it by, let's see, you fix it by thinking about you're not in that household and everybody is different.
Somebody
Amen to
has
that.
somebody has to ask y'all a question. Go ahead.
When y'all was really washing dishes, did y'all make dishwasher or y'all wash one dish at a time?
You made dishwater.
when I was young, that's what my daddy made me do. We had
Yeah.
to water, whatever. One sink was the wash. I mean, with the soapy, the other side was the rinse, and then
Yeah.
you had to dry everything and put it up after. I mean, you put it in the dish rack, but dry everything and then
Yeah.
put it up. Now, as an adult, I will say that that particular thing that was so, he was real meticulous about it. It had to be perfect and had to be done that particular way. Now I'm like, forget that. I'm not gonna run no sink of dish water. I'm gonna turn the water on and wash one dish at a time, which is, I don't know, it's just crazy. But
That's
Brittany
that's the,
says,
that's the question he has, y'all, because I watch one dish at a time. He
I
says
do
I
that
really
too now. I do that too. Brittany says, I have an issue with dirty dishes, but got tired of being the only one doing them because I felt it wasn't right. So I told my family we're going to eat sandwiches on paper plates until they wash them right. It's the way that broke me of them being done exactly like I wanted. They do the dishes, they get clean, just not the way I do it. But
but it
it's
gets
done.
done.
Yeah. Because we use paper plates. As a matter of fact, here you go, right here.
Ta-da! I know that's right.
I'm not gonna lie. Even though I still wash dishes, it took me a while to put them in the dishwasher. I didn't. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, as far as the dishes in the dishwasher thing, I still to this day will wash the dishes with soap, rinse them off with water, put them in the dishwasher, then turn the dadgum dishwasher on. What's the point in the dishwasher?
Okay, I'll be asking her, why are you washing the dishes?
I'm
I mean,
full
she
blown
full
washing.
blown washing the dishes and then put them in the dishwasher. What got a dishwasher for?
Just in case the dishwasher misses something,
This
I've
is a,
already got it good.
You
So
doing too
therefore I
much.
know it's gonna
yeah.
be sanitized through the
I do
dishwasher.
that. I do that.
I
I
do
will
it too,
not
but
lie
still, I'm
about
gonna complain anyway.
yeah, I do it.
Well,
And
y'all, look,
Let's
the
talk about our Christmas fundraiser, y'all.
we're getting some traction on it. Everybody's getting more aware of it. We have some donations coming in, which is really good. I want to keep it up. Everybody, please keep it up. It doesn't matter if it's a quarter, a nickel. It doesn't really matter because the purpose of this fundraiser is to help families who have it bad, or not even bad, but just less than any way to give back and help someone. Whether you never know what they need that money for. Bills,
Pay a light
food.
bill.
You
Get some
never
food.
know. I'm just
Because it's
saying.
hard out here, y'all. Right now, it's real hard.
You see, I know people have seen the lines. They're so long at the food banks and stuff, or just out. People trying to get a meal.
Like we
So
said, we're not judging nobody. You can give
no,
$1.
it
We
don't
don't care.
matter. Every bit helps, and we just everybody spread the word. Come on in, donate. And we still haven't had any nominations as for families yet. So y'all, if whoever's in the comments now, if y'all know a family that you want to nominate, please nominate. Go to a straight talk page and give us a little paragraph or something of why you feel that they
Like they deserve a blessing.
yeah, and we'll write them down and I'm just saying. But y'all would get to
Just
nominate
rambling. Get to nominate, and like we said, any quarter, nickel, dime, it helps. And also, we decided that we're going to be helping 3 families instead of 4.
Oh, as
You know,
many as
because
we
it's
can,
well, I
really.
mean, yeah, but we're only trying to raise $600, and we want to try to help, try to lighten the load for somebody just a little bit. I mean, because it's such a short notice, we know that.
Yeah, and it's
So-
over on the 17th anyway. So,
So
Suki,
y'all,
what you want to say?
You just said it. I said what's the deadline, but you answered it.
Yep, December 17th, everybody. Now till December 17th.
like we said, y'all will nominate the people who will receive the blessing. Y'all write in, tell us why the family deserve it.
We don't do anything as far as like judging that part because that's all a process, a drawing. We don't influence that at all. But it's just so we know what's going on.
All right.
Anything else, guys?
Anything else, ladies?
No. For y'all that don't know, the 17th is on a Thursday show. Because we said the 17th, but that will be a Thursday show.
Yep.
you echoing real bad.
All right.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell everybody, y'all go to our YouTube channel, go like and subscribe, please. Okay,
Spread the word.
spread the word and share us. It's been straight talk, no BS. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
I miss.
You guys just have a short night tonight.